Hello. Today we're going to talk about the kettlebell ABC workout. ABC stands for Armor Building Complex. Last week I posted a video doing this workout. It was a real-time video, full workout. Took 21 minutes. I'm going to link to it in the description below so you can check it out if you'd like. Today we're going to talk about why I did that workout, how that workout came to be, how I put it together, the weights that I use, the various directions that you can go with it. My name is Chris Butterworth. This is the Healthy Butter Fitness channel. This is the place where we talk about being in our 50s and 60s and fighting off the effects of father time every day, every step of the way. And we use functional fitness to do that. I am 56 years old today and I feel great. When I turned 50, I was like a lot of 50-year-olds. Chronic back pain, lower back pain that just followed me everywhere I went. Hard to sleep, hard to get in and out of the car. I had rotator cuff issues, I had elbow issues. So I was 50 and I felt like I was 60 or 70. Today I'm 56 and I feel more like I'm 40. And kettlebells, clubs, mace, that's what fixed it. So I'm trying to share with you some of the things that I've learned. I'm trying to make this a channel that can help you kind of be the channel that I didn't have when I started, is to take all the stuff that's online and make it useful. And Kettlebell ABC, Armor Building Complex, is one of those workouts. So let's talk about it. This is a workout that I believe was created by Dan John. If you look up Dan John, there's a lot of history. He's been doing this. He's a big time, nationally recognized strength coach, athlete coach. And if he didn't put this together, he certainly made it famous. So I think of this, I think of ABC as a Dan John workout. It is a big bang for the buck workout. So not a lot of movements, not a lot to think about. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. And you're getting a lot of the benefits of kettlebell from it. So this is kind of simple, but it's not easy. If you watch Dan John do this video, or if you hear him talk about it, most of the history of this, it's a double kettlebell exercise. So he's generally using two kettlebells at the same time, and he generally goes really heavy. He is a strong guy. He's a strength coach, powerlifting, discus, shot put type of exercises. I can't do nearly the weights that Dan talks about, and I generally don't do double kettlebells, but he has talked about making this a single kettlebell workout. I sort of modified through some of what I've seen and what I've heard, and I made my own. So we're going to talk about, if you watch this video, again, in the description below, what I do with this video is I take a single arm and I do a clean and then a clean and press and repeat. Clean and then clean and press. Then I switch hands and do it on the other side. Same 4 movements. And then the second hand that holds it, you have the kettlebell in the rack position, and I do a full depth squat. Heels on the ground, and you're going down all the way to your butt is skimming the ground. Your butt is just barely off the ground, so it's full depth. And then I come back up. I'm going to talk a little bit about styles of it, but what I would do is the next round, whichever round ended with the squat, the next round I would start with that and do a clean and press, clean and press, switch hands, so that you keep mirroring it from one side to the other, which again keeps your whole body in balance. Now, one of the cool things about this workout, there's a lot of cool things about this workout. One of the things I love is that you get to choose your path between strength and strength endurance. You can go heavier and heavier with the kettlebells. It's full body strong. You're going all the way down in a squat. You're pressing all the way over your head. If you're going to go heavier weight, you're probably going to use a little bit more rest in between the sets. Whether you take a rest after every rep, or whether you do 2 or 3 reps and then take a rest and come back and do 2 or 3 more. All of these things can be customized as you build your own workout. But you can certainly take this workout and go heavy into strength. Now, my theory, what I've built for myself personally, and what seems to translate with other people that are in our age group is as you get into your 50s and 60s, pushing yourself to maximum strength effort invites at the best muscle soreness. You get the delay onset muscle soreness because you're breaking down your muscles from working so hard. At the worst, you get nicked up, dinged up, hopefully not an injury that requires medical attention. But when you're in your 50s, your 60s, as you get older, Father Time is messing with you as it is. And so I try really hard not to mess with myself. I try to go to about 80% intensity level. So I try not to do max effort lifts, and I try not to go super heavy where I'm using all my strength to get the kettlebell up. So I lean more toward the strength endurance side, and in which case I'm maybe going 1 or 2 kettlebell weights down, and I'm going faster. So I'm doing more reps, and I'm shortening the rest in between each reps. So again, you could go double kettlebells really strong. You could go 1 kettlebell heavy, and you can adjust the work to rest ratio so that you have enough rest to keep hitting those reps. Or you can go a little bit faster. Now, for my version, as I built this out, I love the concept of it. I mean, armor building complex says it all. You're trying to make your body made out of armor. You're trying to become bulletproof. You're working your lower half, your upper half. You're working your left and your right. You're working your front and your back into balance. So this has just about everything except rotation, which is why we use clubs and maces on other days. But you're trying to build yourself into armor, right? This is a great program. So I like that. Just looking at it, I know that it works a full body, and I wanted to try it. So I tried with a 25-pound kettlebell, and I sort of played with the movements. How many reps can I realistically do before I get too tired? If I do 4, 5, 6 reps at a time, I'm going to run out of gas pretty quickly, right? So I wanted to find a number of reps that would challenge me, that would also fit within an EMOM so that I could time it every minute on the minute. So I could do some work and then put the kettlebell down and I would rest while the timer ticked to the next minute. And then at the start of the next minute, I would pick it up and do another set. So what I put together, 2 cleans, 2 clean and presses on each side, and then 2 squats, took me about 30 seconds. So that was a pretty good EMOM, right? Equal parts work and rest, and I could continue it for an extended period of time. So I like that. Actually, the first time I did this, my wife was looking for something that she could do more than just swings with a kettlebell. So we did this together, and we did an I go, you go. So she rested while I did my set, then I put it down and I rested while she did her set, and we just took turns back and forth. But our workouts don't coincide that often. It would usually be a weekend thing. So when I'm doing this on my own, I did it as an EMOM. So fast forward a few workouts, 25 on this pace with that amount of reps, it got kind of light for me after a few workouts. So I started introducing a heavier workout, and I started doing a 30-pounder. And what I would do is I'm going to do 24 rounds of this. So it took me 24 minutes originally. And I would do a couple rounds with 25, and then I would mix in a 30. And then I would do a couple more with 25 and mix in another 30. And I try to keep it balanced. So I did the same number of 30s on left and right. The 30s were significantly harder, to the point that I noticed, like on those particular reps, I was a little bit more winded as I got ready for the next rep. But I added another 30 and then another 30. And I got to the point where I was doing about half the workout with 25s and half with 30. And it felt like I was overcomplicating the process. So what I've done recently, I did that for a couple months. And what I've done recently is I've broken it out so I have a light day and a heavy day. So I went back to doing the full 25 workouts, 25-pound workout, but instead of doing it on an EMOM, I cut the rest time. So in that video, again, linked in the description below, I I think I did it at a 52-second timer. So I did an EMOM style, but instead of waiting all the way to the top of the minute, I did it at 52 seconds. So that gave me approximately 30 seconds of work and approximately 22 seconds of rest. So it went fast. The whole workout took 21 minutes instead of 24 minutes, and I felt myself breathing heavy, especially on the second half of it. So I was looking more for a endurance side there. When I do the heavy side, I'm doing exclusively 30 pounds. I'm not doing any more 25, and I'm extending the rest a little bit. So instead of doing an EMOM with 30 and 30, I'm doing 30 seconds of work and 40 seconds of rest. And it's challenging. So I'll post one of those videos at some point in the future. I think that over time, the plan for this is that my 30 will become, when I can do it all the way through 24 rounds, on the 70-second timer, I'll drop it down to a 60. I'll do a true EMOM. And then when that becomes comfortable, I'll shorten the timer on the 30, we'll retire the 25, and I'll bring my 35 in to be the heavy. So I think this armor building complex is such a good workout that I can see this being in my program for a long time. And that's what I've built as a plan for escalating. So I'm never in a hurry to escalate. Like I said before, I don't want to push myself so hard that I get dinged up. I don't want my workouts to be so hard that they're not fun. I've pushed myself to a point in the past where my workouts were so hard that they were intimidating. And I woke up in the morning saying, oh, geez, I have to do that workout today. What am I going to do? I don't want to do it. And that's just a terrible place to be. I don't want to be there. So I like my workouts to be fun. I like to anticipate my workouts. I like to say, hey, today I'm going to do an ABC. I'm going to knock this one out of the park. So that's why I talk about 80% intensity rate. And but that doesn't mean that we make our workouts easy. It means that I might do the same workout 2 or 3 or 4 times, and then I might add just a tiny bit to it to make it a little bit harder. And then over the course of the time, your numbers get better, your work rate goes up, your rest goes down, your number of reps goes up. I could at some point make this 3 of each round before I take a break. So there are lots of things I can do to make this harder. But that's the goal, is that over the long term, your workouts get a little bit harder each time. So you look back 6 months from now and you say, man, I could do that easy today. So that's my long-term plan with this, is 25 will get faster and faster, 30 will become my standard, and eventually I'll retire the 25 and I'll bring a 35 in. But I think this is a program that if you're not doing it, if you're not doing a complex, this is a good complex to start with. So if you have just a swing program running, and maybe you have a clean and press program running, and another day you're doing Turkish get-ups, but you haven't started to stack things back to back, this is a really good workout for stacking back to back, because you're mixing up a clean with a clean and press, which kind of go together. That clean and press, I mean, you're opening up your shoulders and going over your head. The squat then gives you the full body. And when you do that squat, when you do the heels down, all the way down squat, that's more than just, it's everything that a gym squat gets you. Legs, quads, hamstrings, glutes. It's everything that you're pushing up with a squat. But because you're going all the way down, you're getting ankle flex and you're getting hip flex. So you're really getting stretches that you aren't normally getting on a standard squat. So again, this is a good workout. If you haven't tried it yet, I encourage you to try it. Find a way to work it in there. Use the weight that's right. And between the work rate and the rest rate and the weight of the kettlebell, you put it together into a magic concoction that makes you feel awesome. And when you got that dialed in, run with it and just make it a tiny bit harder, every few workouts. I hope that helps. I hope Kettlebell ABC Armor Building Complex makes a little bit more sense. If you want to see it in real time, again, check out the video I did last time, and it's a full-length workout of how I did this. Now, when I'm doing a workout and I'm talking to you, sometimes I lose focus, so you'll see me doing the same side 2 or 3 times in a row just because I messed up. I think I lost count once, so it's not perfect, but it does show you what I did. So I hope that helps. I hope you're able to take this and run with it. I hope you're able to put your functional fitness program together, and I hope you're able to feel as good as you progress as I have. I think that would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Go get better.